Oh my God. The reactions that I get when I practice capoeira by myself out in public, they go from really wide range. I think a really good question is, what do people think when they see capoeira at first sight?
When they first see it, a lot of people tend to think that it's voodoo.
Because you have a big old drum that goes voodoo, voodoo. You got these weird instruments that nobody's ever seen. You're speaking a new language, Portuguese, and they're just like, oh, hey, there's a lot of black people doing a lot of movements, and there's a circle.
Ew, don't join capoeira. That's like, social suicide. Don't do that.
And they're like, oh, it's kind of weird. It's kind of, because when you see it, it looks beautiful. It looks like a dance. It looks like it's harmless. It's so smooth, it's so clean, but that's why it's so deadly.
People don't understand capoeira. Capoeira is very, it's almost mystical in a sense to some people. It's magical. And so, when people look at witches, the first thing they want to do is burn it. And then later on they realize that it's not necessarily something that's necessarily bad. It's something that's good, because capoeira has a lot of goodness.
La la la, stretch it. La la la, São Bento. La la São Bento. La la São Bento. Breathe. La la. Do that loud for me. São Bento grunge song. People are flying through the air, flipping and stuff. Woo! It's a party. You ready?
Okay, my government name is Brian Ellis. I'm known as Pele Ogunseye, which is my capoeira name and also my spiritual name in the African practice of Ifa. And my job is capoeira. And among other things, but capoeira is the primary job I have. Ooh, I think this December I'm creeping up on 10 years. Let's see. Yes, actually. I started when I was 15, so this December is 10 years.
My name is Brandon Gines. My appellito or nickname for capoeira is Jaboa. I am currently a graduate student at Tuskegee University, originally from Biloxi, Mississippi.
My name is Nia Hicks. In capoeira, I'm known as Lobinia, and I'm currently a student at Tuskegee University. I'm going to grad school for environmental science. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Maxine Ledet. My capoeira name is Oro. I'm a college student. My occupational therapy third year. I am 21 years old. I am a native of New Orleans, Louisiana, but I am also from Pomona, California. And I live in Tuskegee, Alabama.
My name is Thomas Loving. That's my government name. My capoeira name is Boca. I was born in Oakland, California, and I reside in Tuskegee, Alabama as of now. Here we go. T-U, you know.
Capoeira is a African Brazilian martial arts developed by African slaves who were transported to Brazil during the slave trade.
and it developed into what it is now because of the resistance they had to face in terms of it being outlawed, and then it just changed into how it is now so they can disguise it. And it's a very beautiful art form that involves a lot of history and culture, music, dance, everything. Yeah.
It's a way of life. It's a way of being. It's something that brings people together and brings happiness. It's like a universal language.
All right, so there's multiple ways that people understand how capoeira started. Capoeira, by my definition, is an Afro-Brazilian martial art created by the enslaved Africans in Brazil. And so a lot of people have a lot of controversy if it's a Brazilian martial art or an African martial art. My personal thought process on it is, you take a Kia plant and you put it in America and they make Kia cars. Is it still a Korean car or an American car?
Korean.
We consider it Korean. Same thing for Nissan, same thing for BMW. Like, we have the plants here, we make the cars, but they're still considered German engineering or Japanese engineering or Korean engineering. So that thought process, you take people out of Africa and they create an art. It's an African art, just created somewhere else. Different aspects, music, it's beautiful, it sounds good. Make sure you play the music right. It's just like any art. It's not something that you can take lightly.
And that's like you putting in your energy to for everyone that's in the middle of the roda.
The songs, which they're very important to keep it in Portuguese, which is another aspect while we learn Portuguese.
When you sing songs, originally, slavery time. So when you're a slave owner and you don't want your slaves trying to plan a revolt on you, knowing anything about your culture. So a way for African slaves from back then to be able to articulate themselves, have fun, they sing, but they sing with purpose.
It's not like, oh, I'm just, tinkering around, da. Like, actually try to put your soul into it. Like, sing. Do what you do in the shower. Because when you're in the shower, you're not worried about anybody else watching you. And you put everything you got into it. Even if you're joking, you put everything you got into it. And that's what capoeira is about. That's one of the biggest aspects. Put everything you got into something. I found capoeira because my stepbrothers were half Asian, half black, and they really adopted into their Asian culture. They were really into their Asian culture. They took into their Asian heritage. They learned martial arts. They learned jiu-jitsu, taekwondo. They learned the whole ballpark. Muay Thai. They were ready. They were trying to get into MMA. And I had never lost a street fight. And they were like, yo, let's fight. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So we're in the basement. We just boom, 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 just getting it in. And they are kicking my butt, man. Like, it's ridiculous. I've never lost, so I didn't know how to take a loss. And so I was like, okay, what are y'all doing? It's like, okay, so this is what's happening. I'm beating you with technique and not strength. And so they showed me their martial arts skills. And I was like, is there something for like that black people created? And it was like, oh yeah, capoeira. So we're looking through. They showed me all 87 martial arts that are there. Capoeira is the only one that's like really African based. But capoeira, I was like, dang, that's crazy. I know I can't do that. I'm chunky, remember? So I know I can't do all that stuff. And then they were like, oh yeah, it's not effective. It's just a dance. I was like, oh no, I'm taking that. I'm going to learn that. I'm going to beat you up with it. So I go on the internet, I find Maculele Atlanta, and I meet Huso, and he starts training.
So we have a mother group, which is a bigger organization housed in Atlanta.
Okay, Maculele is a group, is founded by Mestre Fran, a man who came from, I believe, South America. Of how in karate, I don't really know how the system works, but you have belts. You have like yellow belt, blue belt, green belt, whatever order it is. But the higher arc is like usually black belt, double black belt, and something else. I'm not gonna go into that. But we have something called Mestre. That takes you a lifetime, or if you're a genius, I would have to say at least 20 years. He started in Atlanta, Georgia, a class. He only had a few students, just like Tuskegee, and he grew, and he started becoming one of the major mestres in America and Brazil.
He's a fantastic person. He's like an old master in the Kung Fu movies. He's really old. Well, I guess he's not really old. He wouldn't say he's really old. However, he's older than I am, and he can still move like me, if not better. Well, yes, better. He can definitely move better than me. He beats me up all the time.
and yeah, that's who he is. It's the larger branch of the group. And Maculele Tuskegee is what I'm representing now, is Maculele in Tuskegee and Auburn.
So the way Maculele, Alabama started was it's very interesting.
Okay, so from what I know, the history of this group started with our instructor, Brian, or Pele, and he had been in Tuskegee.
One day I went back to school and I was just really bored. I was sitting in my room and I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired of studying. What can I do? And I was like, oh, got a little fat right here. Let me go start training. I started practicing capoeira again, and I just realized how much it like lifted my spirits. And so I was like, okay, I got to share this with somebody else because this is great. And so I started practicing outside, and people were like, oh, what are you doing? And then I met Lobinia.
Lobinia, she's the first student here.
And I was in the middle of filming a video, one of my web series videos, and she was in the video, and we were talking for a while, like, just, yo, what are you doing, da-da-da, hanging out. And then she realized that I did martial arts, and she met my friend Nigel, who also did martial arts. And I was like, oh yeah, I do martial arts, I can teach you capoeira. And she was like, for real? That's dope. And so we started training, and then the next thing you know, she told a friend, the friend came, and then they told a friend, and another friend came, and then people saw us training, and then they started joining, and we just had like a big class.
And people started coming, they started seeing, and they were interested. And he, has this passion. He had the passion just to teach all these other people. And so it's just like as more and more people came, it just grew. And it wasn't something that was like, I'm coming here and I'm going to grow capoeira, but it was like, this is what capoeira does. It spreads love and joy, and it's definitely one of those things that people are attracted to.
We started off in Frank Brown Rec Center, and I was Pele's only student at the time. He wanted to bring it back to Tuskegee, as in the university, so that he can involve the students in it again.
But we could not train where we were supposed to train. Nobody liked capoeira. Not the administration didn't like capoeira. So we had to hide in classrooms. We were doing everything we could possibly do just to train and have fun, right? Really.
So we had to sneak around in classrooms in our business building that they left unlocked at night, and make, promises to the janitors that had to clean up every night that we wouldn't break anything or leave a mess. And we did that for about a year until we finally made a connection with the director of the gym on campus, and he allowed us to be one of the programs as a health fitness class to be offered to the students. And that's how we were able to establish ourselves as an actual organization on campus, and then from there we try to move into the community.
And then, and I do remember there was a time also that Mestre was always also encouraging me. He was like, you have a lot of potential. You should teach where you are. You should teach where you are. He always said that, and I was very nervous about doing it. I was like, oh, I don't know anything. What are you talking about? All I could do is the basics. But I didn't realize that the basics were all you needed. And solid base is what you really needed. And so I really worked on base a lot. I drilled it. Up high. It's wide open. Even low. Okay? Even Mestre has to work on that. Alright. And teaching capoeira, it's a little different. It's kind of chaotic, because in your mind, you're like, okay, I know that this person has an issue, I know this person has this issue, I have to make sure that I can do something that everybody can still learn from, and make sure that we maintain the flow of class without it getting too hectic. So, filling in capoeira practice feels great. Teaching capoeira, it's crazy. Playing, gym, nice, firm. Alright, boom, somebody pushes you over, you're nice and firm, it's a lot harder to push you over than you do.
He's that dude. He's that dude. I knew him since I was like 9, 8 years old. He's a wonderful guy. He tries a lot.
Pele. Pele is my instructor, capoeira instructor here in Tuskegee. Also a great friend. He's hardworking. Pretty much, he'll do anything. He'll do anything for it. I know he loves all his students.
So like he's actually like taking us to Atlanta to Bachazadas, getting our cords up. He's a wonderful guy.
Pele is very giving. He donates a lot of his time, effort, and energy. Well, all of his time, effort, and energy into growing this group, and he's really for his people and seeing the community grow. And
he's an amazing person, an amazing being. He has a really big vision for capoeira, and he just does it like in life. You know, everything aligns with capoeira. Like everything, capoeira is first and foremost in his life, pretty much. And you know, I've never seen that passion about anything.
He'll go the extra mile. You know, if he doesn't have a working car to transport people or a working car to get here and there, he'll ride his bike. He'll make contacts in order to help out wherever he can.
You know, he tries to revolve everything he does around trying to help his people and then doing what he can for the group to make sure all of us prosper and do well. And he's a very inspirational person.
I've never seen someone love something so much, and he's just a dynamic individual though. He is very bold and very just inspiring, and he'll do any and everything. Like he has that type of loyalty, that type of commitment to others and investing in others.
Practicing capoeira, I feel, well, afterwards I feel great. It's a good stress reliever.
Sometimes it can be very meditative, and it also makes me feel motivated when I'm done. You know, the main reason I keep doing it is because it keeps me sane and for all the craziness that goes on through my daily life.
The hardest thing is just the time it takes to really become proficient in certain moves, certain songs. The language, part of capoeira tradition is learning Portuguese. So, I mean, that in itself is pretty difficult.
And it's something that's crazy because the teachers that I had before me, they will always teach me not to rush things. Second, to learn how to be patient. And patience is it's a concept that is very elusive because, you think patient is just like sitting still and doing nothing or trying to occupy your mind with something else before, but it's not. It's actually an active thing. Like you have to actively be in understanding that you're being patient. And so I learned that just recently, and that's an aspect of capoeira. You have to actively be patient to know that it takes time to learn how to play the instruments of capoeira because the instruments of capoeira and the music of capoeira holds the history of capoeira. It's really important that you have patience when learning the movements because you can hurt yourself and you can damage your whole capoeira career. You won't ever be able to play again if you do something wrong. If you break a leg, tear a ligament, people don't understand capoeira. Capoeira is very, it's almost mystical in a sense to some people. It's magical. And so, when people look at witches, the first thing they want to do is burn it. And then later on they realize that it's not necessarily something that's necessarily bad.
The challenges that the group faces, there's two main challenges that the group faces.
A lot of social discrimination. Okay, that's one of the main problems capoeira group has. Okay, because people, when you see the flashy stuff, when you see something flashy, you think of the circus just as entertainment. Capoeira, it looks beautiful. It looks like a dance. It looks like it's harmless. It's so smooth, it's so clean, but that's why it's so deadly.
And they see it as just a dance. And I get like really upset when I hear people like, oh, this it's a Brazilian dance style. And I'm like, it's an Afro-Brazilian martial art,
When you're watching it and you don't understand it truly, people don't respect you as well, okay? Like facilities, they won't respect you like an other martial art group.
And also our group in Tuskegee, one of the major challenges is support that we face. We're in a city where the average income is far below the average income of the state.
And then in terms of, how we were in Tuskegee getting acceptance from the community who's also black but aren't used to seeing things that are this deeply rooted.
So, I mean, people there in that town specifically are less likely to come out and try to, support capoeira and financially, I should say.
Because I know, like, I see a lot of the behind the scenes with Pele, and it's like he does so much that, people don't know about, and it's just, it's like one person can't do it on his own, like one person just can't. But I don't feel that, like, the majority of the people, do, like, see that beauty and can see that beauty until they try it, until they feel it for themselves.
And those are the main challenges that we have, are getting people to really embrace capoeira as a whole, especially in the community.
However, our group is steadily growing, slowly but surely. We're gaining people not only within Tuskegee, but also from Auburn, Montgomery, nearby cities, places like that are starting to slowly come into the fold of our group.
And then it's like those who can't see the beauty and look past, like, everyone else is. I just think that they're the boldest people, and that it's like it's a beautiful thing for them to connect to, like, the experience.
Alright, and last thing I'm going to say, Mestre is coming in a week. So make sure y'all pay for September so we can get Mestre down here in Concord. Once Mestre gets here, he's going to do a capoeira workshop. It's going to be hard.
Alright, so there's an event coming up. Mestre Crown is coming down. This is a very historic moment in Alabama's history, capoeira's history. We're going to be in Tuskegee, Alabama, a predominantly black town with a lot of predominantly black, rich excellence. Is great. So now we're bringing down an African martial art to Tuskegee, the masters of the art. They're going to share with the students that we have accumulated over time some of their knowledge. And some of the students haven't even seen their Mestre before. And so this is like a first time. I'm really excited about this. Mestre has never been to Tuskegee, and we've been here for 3 years.
So my name is Dandara. I'm 22. I don't have a capoeira nickname. My name is already a nickname. I'm from Brazil, and I live in Atlanta now with my friends. Capoeira is a martial arts, but it involves everything. It has music. It's the only martial art that has music, instruments. Capoeira still is very discriminated in Brazil, and when we do big events, we don't have big sponsors like the other martial arts do. So that's the struggle. We have to fight every event. We count with the students to help out. I think capoeira, and it's also much better now, but it's very discriminated in Brazil. As like, oh, it's only poor people do capoeira, or it's only black people, or only this and that, and it's not. Capoeira is for everyone, and capoeira is so much more than it helps people so much. Since I'm a girl, it's very hard being a girl in a very masculine place. It could be at work or especially martial arts. So I faced not discrimination, but it's like, oh, she's a girl, I'm gonna buy her out, and I will always like come back in the hall and buy him out, or like try to like give him like martellos, and like it's. But I think it's very good because you need to prove yourself always at work or at capoeira or any martial art. I think it's like very hard for girls, and I was very shy when I was a teenager. I was shy and not confident at all, and capoeira gave me that. I can talk to you right now, I can sing in the hall, and I wasn't like that at all. So that's also some of the challenges I faced, but yeah, overall it just helped me in my life. There is a whole community and you make lots of friends. I think like more than half of my friends are from capoeira, and you travel and you get to know many places. Like I'm here in Tuskegee and I never imagined to be here, and I love it, and you get to know people and get to know places, and you have your uniform. So we have the white pants and white t-shirt, that's the capoeira uniform, and the corda, and then we play barefoot. And
apart from music, you have the fighting.
There are the movements and techniques as far as the kicks and the skivas go.
You have the fighting and everything, and then two, you have the disguise part, and that's the the balance, so the dancing, the everything that goes with grace, being graceful and flowing,
which is based a lot on acrobatics, flexibility, pretty much strong foundations. And
see, it's different from all these other martial arts, like let's say karate. Karate is more of a face-up type of martial art. And wow, capoeira moves around movements, must listen to the music to be able to determine what type of way you want to play.
Master, whoever's leading the hall is telling me that I need to calm down or be more aggressive or be flashy and showy and whatnot.
All of these things are in union. You know, when you're playing capoeira, everything is in union. You have your, you know, your focus and your strategy, and you also have to be trickery, and you also have to be grace, and you also have to be peace at the same time. And so it's like everything, you know, adds to this big old melting pot, and it makes like the happiest experience in the world, you know. And it just puts forth all this energy in you. It's like a constant like cycle of giving and receiving energy.
Capoeira is a dance, capoeira is a fight, capoeira is trickery, capoeira is magic, capoeira is history, capoeira is what you eat, capoeira is what you dream about. Capoeira is the thing that takes over your life, and you learn that you can't get everything now. So you learn that it's a part of your life, it's a life journey.
Pele always says, you know, everything that we do in our game is like a translation of our life. And it's just like capoeira has been one of the realest like instruments to my growth and to my development, because it's like you can physically see like the things that you struggle with, that you try to hide away. You know, capoeira, as I do it like in my game, I do it in real life, and it's like a reminder, like, you know, you're here and you're overcoming fear. Like, yes, you can do that backflip. I haven't done it yet, but yes, you can do that headstand, or yes, you can, like, you know, do this flip, or you can do this kick, and you can commit to it. And it's just like, you know, doing it in life as well. Like, yes, you can start your own business, and yes, you can speak to, you know, this person about your dreams and your goals, you know. And so it's just like, it's definitely like one of those things that translate in life, you know.
It's so similar to most martial arts, but the one thing that's different is the community. It's not only about self-growth. It's also about your brother, your sister, your friends growing with you as well. It has culture, it has music, it has family, it has friends, it develops communities, it uplifts many people, and it does a lot for your life.